Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Creators on the Crest. I'm Stephanie, and this is your June monthly reading. Today, we will be doing a yummy Celtic cross spread, and we will close off the reading by pulling a tarot card from the Herbcrafter's Tarot for the Piscean Collective. Do keep in mind, these are general readings, so only take what resonates. If you're interested in more context and texture, be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node reading placements. That will help give you additional details that you might be able to utilize. If you're interested in a personal reading, I will have links in the description below, and also the links to my social media are below on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Creators on the Crest. Okay, I think that's it. Let's get into this, Pisces. Hope everyone is doing well. Happy June. Can you believe it's June? I'm going to put these cards out and we'll see what's going on here. So just bear with me here. Ooh, you're coming out fast. Definitely flowing here, Pisces. Okay. All right. A lot is going on for you, Pisces. As usual, you're taking things pretty deep here. So your energy starts off in your current situation with the Knight of Wands. Okay, I like that. It's passionate, it's forward moving, it's pretty fast moving. This is crossed with the Temperance card. However, the Temperance toning things down, maybe a little... things got a little too fiery. I don't know. Maybe there needs to be a little bit more thought going into things, or a little bit more of a practical approach. We'll see as we go. In your focus area, the Death card comes up. This is transformation. This is Scorpionic energy, one of your water sign friends. This is energy that is typically related more to transformation and less to an actual death, but it could be dealing with grief or death in some way, loss of someone or something. In the past, you get the World card. That's what you're leaving behind. So it looks like you're telling me you're closing off a cycle here. You're really coming to the end of something, which probably means new beginnings are upon you. And in your strength, you get the High Priestess. Ooh, I love that. And this particular High Priestess is actually floating above the water. So a really neat depiction of, and she's very vulnerable and she's very Piscean looking, actually. So I really like what I'm seeing here in your strength. I think this is your spiritual wisdom coming through to the forefront and really making an appearance and taking a center stage on things. In the future, you get the Seven of Pentacles. Something is being nurtured, practical world nurturing, slower moving energy, but it looks like maybe something that has been, a seed that has been planted is coming to fruition, and you may begin to see the fruits of your labor. In the advice and support, you get the King of Cups. There you are. That's an empowered energy. This is, the mastery of the water energy. That is a Piscean gift. That is a thing with Pisces. And in your environment, you get the Ace of Wands. So this is the new energy. Remember I said, I feel like you're closing out a cycle. This is the newer energy. Again, bring in that fire energy like we saw in your current energies. And it's a new, fresh feeling, a new, fresh, passionate approach, a new something. It could be a new passion. It could be a new hobby. It could be something on your bucket list, possibly you're doing. And in your hopes and fears, you get the Ten of Pentacles. So with whatever is closing out and whatever new cycle you're moving into, there may be the hopes and dreams that there'll be enough financial abundance for you, but also that can be a fear. So 10 of Pentacles, though, it gives me a very fulfilled feeling. So keep setting your sights in that positive direction. For the potential outcome for the month of June, you get the Seven of Wands. Now this is you maybe feeling a little bit defensive. I'm seeing like the future, 7 of Pentacles, potential outcome, 7 of Wands, definitely the 7s that we're working with. So, you know, I think sometimes when we close out one cycle, it's so much work and so much energy that you just want peace, and you don't want, you're like, I'm done with the change. Let's just have something settle here. Let's just have something, let's have the current slow down so I can just, you know, float for a little while. And I can understand that. I can understand that, but it seems like you may not be getting that in these yeah, and I know that that may be bothering some of you. I'm feeling that. Let me grab a sip of tea here. Maybe you don't feel like things are calming down fast enough, but hey, let's get some clarifications. We could see we'll go in deeper and we'll see what's going on with these 7s that you have, but maybe a number for you to work with for June. It could also mean the 7th month of this year, which is July. So we may even be getting a little window of insight for you. I wouldn't be surprised with the way your energies work. You're going even more into things into July. Let's look at this Knight of Wands for you. Let's look at this, you know, this is great energy. There's movement. Oh, Pisces, you get the 7 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles here. So it's interesting that your current energies is the 7 of Wands, and then it's still showing up. Now, it could be a different angle of this, okay? Remember, sometimes while I'm not actually reversing the cards right now, we may see reversed energies here. But yes, with your challenge being temperance and you having to temper something, Pisces, did you come off a little strong in a situation maybe? Did you maybe have an emotional overreaction to something? And it had to do with work? Listen, I worked in the corporate world for 20 years or whatever, right? And the corporate world is not good. And this goes for other work environments too, but they're not good at holding space for the emotional aspects of people and emotional intelligence. So, you know, maybe you actually acted out in some way and out of defense of something or someone or something that you thought was right. It has to do with your work, though. If you're not in the corporate world or that kind of environment where others might not be able to understand where you're coming from or be able to hold any kind of tolerant space for the emotional energies, then this could be you dealing with that with yourself. For those of you that are entrepreneurs and you're self-employed, you know, here you are, you're going, and then maybe you're getting trolled. Maybe you got a bad comment or something, and you're letting that get to you a little bit because you've put so much hard work, blood, sweat, and tears into what you're doing and into what your passions are, only to be, you know, maybe sidetracked by a lesser energy. Let's put it that way. So keep an eye on that. Let's look at this temperance that's challenging you. It's kind of like, hey, maybe take it a different direction. Maybe let's take an inventory here. Let's temper your energies, and it could be to help you. Yeah, temperance is definitely needed here because you get the Tower and the 5 of Wands to clarify this temperance card. And remember, this is in your challenge. Somebody is not comfortable, you know, and this isn't really your problem, but it seems like somebody isn't comfortable with your energies, your strength, maybe your spirituality, something like that. And it feels like every time that you could be having some real issues maybe with family here. This could have to do with like you exploring your own spirituality, and maybe some of your family members are very religiously fixated or inclined or very much caught up in like the God matrix of the Abrahamic religions, for example. and you're like attempting to speak your truth, and you're attempting to find common ground and balance, but they're just not hearing it. And so every time you try it, like everything just comes crashing down. Everything is like a crash and burn and nothing but conflict every time you try to bridge the gap. It may be time for you to stop attempting to bridge the gap here, Pisces. Like, it's almost like you're trying to find, I know it's painful for you. You're trying to find the common ground. You're trying to find the overlap. You're trying to find the places where you can relate to, it looks like, people you care about, you love. Possibly it could be a work environment for some of you. And every time you show who you are, or you attempt to make a bridge, build a bridge, it looks like it just gets smacked down and just disagreement. And maybe you're even hitting a wall at some points here. But something's coming out of nowhere. For others of you, I know we've just had, because we are in the, tornado season in my neck of the world. And, so some of you may have been affected by that. Some of you Pisces might have had literally something kind of shake up your environment, your world. Let's look at this death card in your focus area, because the universe is saying, hey, let's look at this transformation, Pisces. Let's go a little bit deeper into that, and let's focus on it. Because why? Because the Six of Swords and the Justice card come in, because this is where you're going to find balance. So I feel like, Pisces, this is your need to transform and transmute any pressure or any even desire or expectations that you might have around getting through to someone. Someone is just not seeing your point of view. They're just not seeing the way you look at things. They're not getting it. Does not compute. Okay. There's like, you're like, it's just bouncing a rubber ball off a wall. Like, it just comes shooting back at you. For your own peace of mind, the universe is encouraging you to focus on, hey, just, if you can leave. And maybe for some of you, it is time to leave. It's time to distance yourself, maybe from those family members that aren't able to hear you, or, it's a work situation that you need to get out of. It's time for you to sail on to calmer waters. I'm not getting the feeling that you should engage further. What actually will bring balance to the situation is you giving yourself distance. And that's going to resolve the issues and bring you peace. And we're not going to worry about the other people. Whatever brings them is what it brings them. Okay, Pisces, I know this can be hard for water signs, and you're so emotionally in tune and you can feel other people's feelings. And I know this can be tough, but you are the sign that is the shaman. You bring a bridge to heaven and earth. And it looks like that is supposed to be happening within yourself right now. And you need not worry about these other people, okay? Or this other person. All right, Pisces, let's look at this closing of a cycle. The World card in the past position here. You get the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. Okay, Pisces. Okay, good. So one of the cycles that you've brought to a close, and you could be bringing more than one to a close, by the way, but it has to do with limited consciousness. It has to do with a lack consciousness. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean lack of financial resources. It can mean that, like not feeling deserving of something, or just not feeling like you're appreciated. But with that, you've brought in the Queen. So you're going from the Four of Pentacles to the Queen, and you're showing me, wow, there's a very similar body position in both of these cards. And it appears to be a female, and her head is kind of angled down, and she's focused on a pinnacle. In one card, she has one above her head. She's holding one and two below her feet. And in the other card, the Queen is holding one pinnacle. I feel like this is a lightening of your load, you releasing some of the limiting thought patterns and beliefs that you've had. It could be around money. It could be around how your life should look compared to other people. Comparison, right? Those comparison energies. You're telling me I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm coming into myself. I'm coming into looking at the abundance in my life for the way I want to live my life. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And look at this strength in the high priestess, in your strength position here. This is a very good energy to have with you as you're closing out this type of cycle. You get the magician and the hanged man for the high priestess. Yes, Pisces. Okay, so I'm getting the energy that here in your strength, it might be time for you to experiment a little bit with something. Now, I would not go back into this cycle and address the person or people you've had to deal with before, right? That was nothing but a wall, and you were encouraged to come into yourself and find some peace. This is a different kind of experimentation, and this could be with working with the different elements in a way that you learn how to balance your life. I think maybe you've been, and this happens to all the water signs, maybe you've been a little heavy in the emotional current, okay? And that's where you're comfortable. You feel things, and you're feeling things out, but it may be time to experiment a little with a little more logic, a little more research on something, a different kind of conversation with a different kind of person, right? The hanged man too, energy coming in with this. Oftentimes, and I was just having this discussion with my lovely podcast interviewers, Derek and Leslie, thank you so much, the other day. And we'll have to, I'll post something about that video out there because that was an awesome conversation on the tarot. I don't know why that's coming up in your reading, Pisces, but here it is. It was because we spoke about the hanged man. Now, the hanged man, although it appears to be a non-moving position where you're not sensing a lot of activity and movement in the card itself, in the body position of the person, because they are surrendering themselves unto themselves, it is a card of momentum, because as they are hanging from the tree of life, as Odin hangs from the tree of life in the stories, in the Norse mythology, illumination percolates through and from the heart core essence into the mind. And so I see you working with this magic in a whole new way. This is about, you're so comfortable in the emotions, the water energies of the heart, but it's time for you to allow some of that to percolate up to the mind, because, you're hanging upside down here, for a bit of logical illumination. So possibly picking up a book. Remember, this is in your strength. This is going to strengthen you. Picking up a book you've been meaning to read that gives you more information. Maybe you need to do a podcast on a certain topic that you would like to discuss, or interview someone on that, or possibly there is someone you've been thinking about talking to that seems to be more aligned with your energies and the new part of your cycle, and it's time to play with that a little bit. Experimentation is definitely coming up here for you, Pisces, but it's more logical than it is emotional. Okay, let's look at this future energy here with the Seven of Pentacles. So remember, the sevens came up. We've got sevens, and maybe the sevens have to do with this because it's change. Maybe it has to do with this experimentation. You get the Six of Wands and the Two of Pentacles here. So yeah, I think you're really because you're willing to experiment and balance out, get a little more in your logical mind. You don't have to stay there forever. I know it's not maybe your comfort zone, but getting in there and there's a peace that you need to gain. You're going to feel a lot better about what you're building and what you're growing. And I do sense of I get the sense of do you do thymus tapping? No, there's a lot that wants to come up from the heart and not just out in the voice. It wants to go up to the mind, and it wants to be up here for a little while. So maybe you've been, again, is it a book? Is it a documentary? What is it that you've been meaning to research or study? Maybe it has to do with a seed that was planted for you in the past, because here you are with the Seven of Pentacles and you've grown this tree, but there's knowledge and wisdom in the tree. And, you know, you hang from the tree of life to gain the knowledge and wisdom. So Pisces, it's maybe time, and it's not boring. Make it exciting for yourself. I feel like some of you are like, oh, it's so boring. I don't want to read a book. I don't want to research. I just want, you know, to be, and it'll come to me. And no, this is about you taking a logical action. Sorry, you got to take that logical action this time. The King of Cups is in the advice and support. I see this King of Cups is your energy. Yeah, the King of Cups comes up with what? The Nine of Swords and the Seven of Cups. Another seven. Seven's popping up again. Nine of Swords, listen, if you stay in kind of a stubborn energy of like, I will only do it this way, and I'm going to approach it this way no matter what, and you know, like, universe be damned, I'm just going to do it the way I've always done it. That is going to put you in a place of just feeling even more let down and weighed down. This is a time for you to, maybe there is something in the mental area that you're a little bit afraid of, like you feel like there's pain there for some reason. Could be past life related for some of you. Feels like it could be past life related for some of you. Like if you go and study about like the, you know, Egypt or the Atlantean times or the Sumerian, you know, there's a little bit of fear here. But remember, the King of Cups is coming up. You got to show up for this as yourself, yes, but also with the Seven of Cups, you have choices for how you can work through this. And you have choices, you know, when we're doing a level of healing, especially when it comes to the past life realm, there's an imprint, right, on your soul, on the journey of maybe some sort of pain or some sort of it could be a responsibility that you had, and you know, not everything in history is looking that pretty, right? Bad things happened, and I think that's why you're maybe afraid to go into this more logical research study, because there is an element in there that is personally connected to your soul. But it's all in how you decide to navigate the information you have. When you're having a past life trigger or issue that comes up, it's more, because it's not like actually an event that's happening in the current. I mean, everything's happening all at once, right? But since in your earthly plane experience at the moment, the crystals aren't blowing stuff up, you didn't just, you know, like get beheaded or whatever it is, right? You're going to sense it, but it is not going to actually happen that way now at this point of the cycle, right? If you look at like time coming down in like a cone and moving on a circle or a spiral, that is an element of the past, and it's looking like it needs to be healed. It's looking like, because it's coming up in advice and support. So by looking at that, by going there, and this is quite deep, Pisces, you took me right into some deep soul level stuff here, remembering that you have choices for how you work through that. I mean, you can take a more logical approach to it. And I think that may be what you're being encouraged to do. It's instead of like going into your emotions with it and getting super upset, look at how it taught you, or look at how it will contribute to evolution in a different way. Try to take a different perspective. You have choices on that with how you look at that. In your environment, you get you had the Ace of Wands. Okay, so this is a new cycle. You get the Lovers and the King of Swords. I like this. And Pisces, I'm actually getting this is love. So if you're looking for love, part of this new cycle is partnership and love and finding that beautiful, passionate new beginning with someone, with your king, if you're a female, or maybe you're the male Pisces coming in as the king and making an offer. I do sense a lot of passion. I'm not just going to say a lot of passion, a lot of heat, can be quite tempting at times. So again, with the King of Swords coming in, let's make sure we use logic and discernment and take our time through this. These are really big energies, Pisces, that you're moving through in June. So very exciting, very big, very deep. All right, let's look at this 10 of Pentacles in your hopes and fears. And I love this because you get the High Priestess coming in again, and you had the High Priestess in your strength, and the 5 of Swords, however. Okay, so there's the fear angle of it. So when it comes to wealth and abundance, and this could be relating to knowledge and logic, since that has come up for you, to bring that into greater balance. You could have the fear, almost for some of you, I'm feeling like you think you're not intelligent enough, or you think you don't think that way, or you can't absorb the information, or you can't keep track of it, or you won't know what to say when you need to say it. And the High Priestess is coming in and saying, oh, Pisces, you've got this. It's wisdom. It's the wisdom that you're embodying that is important here, not the fear of, will I misstep? Will I say something wrong? Will I cause conflict? If I'm really working on approaching things and experimenting with things in a way that I'm not used to, I'm going to make mistakes, people won't like me, that kind of thing, that's just fear. The High Priestess comes in and says, Pisces, you got this. You got this. This is how we enter the garden, and you have it within you. And you, through this balance, will do amazing things and be rightfully fulfilled in the physical world from it. Let's look at this 7 of Wands coming in the potential outcome. You get the Hermit and the Queen of Cups. So remember I said, because we have our 7s, the 7s have come for you, Pisces. The 7s have come for you this time. That is your number to work with. And again, some of these energies might continue into July, I will say, for y'all. You get the Hermit and the Queen of Cups. Lovely, lovely energy. Again, this is your energy. It's Piscean energy coming in, but it's that angle of the Hermit. It's the Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's the reflection of both logic and the feeling of tuning into the Force. We know how Obi-Wan Kenobi does it, right? And he always gets that, he gets a little look, and he always, touches his beard like this, and he gets a look on his face, and he contemplates. He's feeling into the Force, but he's also using logic here. Then he makes his decision, and it's usually always spot on, right? Usually always gets him exactly where he needs to be. And everything that Obi-Wan Kenobi, the master magician, the hermit, does is it's very thoughtful, it's very tuned in, and it's very intentional. And it means something, right? So Pisces, that's the energy. And so really work on opening up to that instead of feeling maybe defensive to it. Open your mind and your heart up to these 7s, up to looking and doing things a different way, and allowing this shift from emotions to logic and the number 7 and the energies of that. Look it up, look up some numerology on that. It may be a number important to you. Could represent the 7th, 17th, 27th of the month, right? Be looking at those things and just allow it to come in and work with your energies. It's meant for you right now. Pisces, let's pull you a card from the Herbcrafter's Tarot to close off your reading today and get the Piscean Collective a little message. Pisces, I can't make this up. You got another 7, the 7 of Earth, oak, and this is reflected so strongly in your reading. Knowing nature is the key to knowing the self. Your legacy is intertwined with moss and trees. Oaks are slow-growing, long-lived sovereigns of the land. Like the oak, you have worked hard and you have gathered your rewards. When it is time to build your future, listen for the call of the earth. Oaks grow only about 1 foot per year. Be patient. Trust your vision to manifest in its own time. Furniture made from oak wood is durable and hardy. As Texans said, on seeing a 1,000-year oak standing after Hurricane Harvey, you don't get old by being weak. Have faith in your work. Pisces, that is such a cool message. I'm definitely getting the tingles. You may want to visit an oak tree if you have access to that, or work with the shape of the oak leaves. You know, we have the red oaks and the bur oaks, and there's different varieties of them, and some of them drop the acorns, and it's just, you know, it's a tree you could really, really work with. It's a strong wood. When furniture is made out of, it's very strong. And Pisces, that is what's going on here with these 7s. You are being moved into a stronger place of balance, of the balance of logic, wisdom, the emotional angles. All of it gets to be present here with you. Thank you so much for joining, Pisces. I can't wait to see you next time.